Hey guys, so there's one really important thing I actually forgot to mention in this interview. Back in 2017, Matt Szymanski, my co-host at the time, and myself had a show called the 𝗪𝗛𝗏𝗊 Podcast, and we were interviewing professionals in a similar fashion that I do right now. And Cade at the time was still an amateur, and he was gunning for his pro card at the North Americans that year in September. And I told him as he was prepping for the show, I told him, hey, if you win your pro card, we can get you on my show. And he was like, all right, that's a deal. That's pretty motivational. And unfortunately, we stopped the show in June, and he didn't win his pro card back in 2017. He did it actually last year in September at the North Americans, coincidentally. So, at the time I congratulated him and I told him that I will make my promise come true. That I will someday interview him like I promised, because he finally won his pro card. So I finally got the chance. I hope you guys will enjoy the show. And that's it. Thanks for watching.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Croatian Sensation Podcast. And I'm here with my big friend, Cade Zook. What's up?
Bravo. You like that?
Fuck.
You didn't know I could speak Croatian?
No, that's a first. Like, you're the first guest from Croatian.
Yeah, well, I'm cultured, man.
Yeah. For a guy from where? From Georgia or Tennessee?
I'm from Florida, but I live in Tennessee.
You live in the middle of fucking nowhere, though.
Pretty much.
Like, guys, he sends me videos of driving, to the gym, and it's just shacks and mud, and
There's way more shacks where you live.
No, that's not fucking true, man. I always had
Croatia is one of the most poverty-stricken countries in Europe, isn't it? Like 19%. Do you think I didn't Google Croatia? You think I didn't Google Croatia?
I don't know, man. Your Google isn't working. Like, fucking.
Maybe my Google's racist.
Does this mirror look like poverty to you?
Not you. You're not poverty. You're the 1%.
Oh, so I'm the 1%, huh?
The
one with the mirror.
The one with the mirror. You have a mirror on your wall, nothing else.
Nothing else. That's it. That's the whole house. Basically, it's just.
How many times do you look at yourself?
In this one, not as much as I'd like to. Not as much as I'd like to.
Yeah, you got one in another room.
I like the one in the bathroom. That's where I look decent,
It's the best one.
Yeah. Where do you look yourself at?
I try not to look at any of them. You know what the worst mirror of all is?
No.
Is the shower. When you open the shower, there's a giant mirror right there.
Yeah.
When you get out,
yeah,
you got 30 plus inch legs.
And not a 30 plus inch. No.
No, it doesn't matter how big it is. It doesn't look good. So.
You worked on your adductors too much.
That's true. I have big adductors.
You listened to Dante, did you?
Dante is God.
Is he?
Yes, he's one of the gods of bodybuilding.
Do you actually believe? Like, do you incorporate his stuff at all?
No, I can't lift that heavy. I get hurt.
Yeah, but back in the day, though.
Back in the day, I like to do some of it. Yeah.
So, which training systems did you go through? Like, you by the way, Cade went through a bunch of coaches. He went through 𝗱𝗶𝗶𝗁. He went through Matt Jansen,
John Meadows,
Andrew Wu. Like, all these guys are typically, I would say, very basic, knowledge-based, and they like to diet and train hard. So what type of training did you do in the past?
I've always trained pretty heavy, but just basic. But never, I don't ever like keep track of numbers or anything like that. Like, If I go to the gym tomorrow to do back, which I'll do tomorrow, I have no idea what I'm going to do. And that's pretty much how it's been my whole entire bodybuilding career or whatever. I know what day it is. I know what today's chest or whatever, but I don't ever have anything planned.
So is that why you have a shit back?
My back's good. It's decent. Okay, I have good lats.
Decent.
Lats?
Decent. From the front. From the front, they're
I'll
good.
take it.
Okay. From the front, they're good.
I'll take that.
If they weren't torn.
One's torn.
Oh, one's torn.
Yeah, one's torn.
Is that why you look a little lopsided? Like,
probably.
It's not bad. Like, it's freaky. It looks fucking freaky. Like, I think it looks actually freakier than if you were, like perfectly symmetrical. Like, you open up and it's like a giant shredded thing on stage, overpowering everyone else.
I don't know, man. It just maybe we've got a lot of injuries.
Yeah, which ones? Start naming them.
I've tore the quad muscle, not the tendon, the lat, my tricep. Those are the ones that are noticeable as far as like visible injuries.
Didn't you fuck your hip up as well?
I hurt my groin about 8 months ago, and that thing stayed hurt for like 8 or 9 months. Groin is one of the worst. That thing's bad.
I hurt my groin, but not like really bad, just a little bit, and it doesn't go away for like a year.
No, it takes forever.
I don't know why. Like every time I would like squat again or something, and I just needed like one bad rep, and it's back to the same. I don't get it.
And I heard it doing like split squats with not that much weight. It was just a bad.
Squats are like Bulgarian.
Like a Bulgarian split squat.
Yeah.
And just popped.
I was training with 𝗱𝗶𝗶𝗫, and we were doing like a third set. I was 8 weeks out, and we were like doing a third set of heavy squats to failure. And on the second forced rep, I felt it, but a little bit, like nothing. Like it's just I felt something.
Yeah.
And after that, it was just so bad. Like I just couldn't get rid of it for a while. I obviously trained through it. I don't care, but
yeah, there's some things you can do, but like leg press really hurt. There's some exercises I just couldn't do.
Yeah, I could squat, but it wasn't very. I didn't feel very stable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the last few reps, I would go down and then I would just let it all go. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Fuck it. So yeah.
That's the way it is.
Yeah. So talking about coaches, you worked with Andrew last, right? Or Matt? Was it Andrew? Andrew.
Yeah.
How did you like Andrew? Like I'd never hear anything from him. Like he doesn't really educate people online, like Matt or John Meadows. So what does he exactly do with his clients?
Nothing special. He just has really good eyes. You know what I mean? Like a 𝗬𝗨𝗥𝗡. Like he just knows what he's looking at. He's probably the most basic one out of all of them that I've ever worked with, but he just has good eyes, man. He sees everything. You think you're full, you think you're lean, and he'll see something that you don't see, and then you'll be like, oh, he's right. Like he's like, oh, you still got fat on your stomach, and then you look down and you don't think you do because you're thinking about a refeed or whatever. Everything else around you looks flat, but he looks at like the body fat areas, like the stomach, the lower back. He doesn't care about your arms or your shoulders being flat.
Yeah,
like a lot of coaches see you flat and they try to give you refeeds or whatever. He doesn't do that
at all, or very.
I mean, he does, but he doesn't do it. He doesn't care about pleasing you.
Yeah, right. Do you think refeeds are, now that we're talking about them, do you think they're more for pleasing someone, or are they necessary?
I think they're necessary, but I think the higher level guys, some coaches try to please them because they don't want to lose them. They don't want to piss them off.
And do you want to put anyone on the spot? Like who's doing that? Like,
I don't know anybody specifically doing that, but I think that's what happens a lot. Because I don't think a lot of guys need refeeds, like as often as they think they do.
do you think you needed a refeed when Shelby was having you on zero
Yes.
for 25 days?
Yes.
Talk about that. Talk about that. That's an interesting one.
Shelby is the guy that taught me how to bodybuild as far as like working hard on the prep. Like after I prep with Shelby, I could prep with anybody. Shelby's the number one hardest prep, and Andrew Vu is the second hardest. But Vu was hard in 2018 whenever I got second to Ron. That year, that was a hard prep. I was on like 1,600 calories a day probably.
When? The last
near
few
the end.
days or?
Yeah, near the end, like last 4 or 5 weeks.
No
It was
shit.
getting real. Yeah. But my weight was still up, and he's like, he would just keep pushing me because he was saying, well, you don't look flat. Let's just keep pushing. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, fuck.
I agree with that. Like if
No, I do too.
I have one client, I'm gonna give him a shout out, Tommaso. He's like a really good friend of mine, and he's like one of those fat types, you know, like you can push him. Like I had him on 2 hours of cardio, 100 grams of carbs on training days, and he was breaking PRs on each exercise every week so far. We're gonna see what's gonna happen now, but he's just that type of guy, you know.
Yeah. He just got genetics. Good freak.
Yeah, he is. So, you know, it's funny. It's funny how that works for some guys. Do you think you are like that a little bit, aren't you? You can push on a diet.
I can push. Yeah. I can still be pretty strong and still like I'm not like you read about some guys they'll post and they'll say how they're so drained they drive to the gym, they can't even get out of the car, and like, you know what I mean, like,
yeah,
just exaggerating a little much. But I've always had a job during prep. I've never been at home and where I could just lay around and be a bodybuilder all day. So I'm used to being like feeling like shit all the time when I'm prepping. So to me, I just in my mind it just feels like that's the way it's supposed to be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I fucking do. Because I felt the same. I don't know how many cheats do you get, or do you even do cheats in a prep?
No, a cheat would be like I think Vu had me eat a burger once or twice and sushi a couple times, but most of the time it was like a couple of muffins and then really high carbs, like 3 cups of rice if I was at a cup and a half.
I have no idea what that means. Speak in grams. Speak in the metric system.
A gram? Okay, 350 grams of rice.
Raw or cooked?
Cooked.
Cooked. So
That's
that's like 100 grams,
I think
120 grams of rice.
I think 100 carbs of rice is 300.
Okay,
cooked.
yeah. Okay, 100 grams carbs, 100 grams of carbs in rice is like 130 grams of rice. I'm eating 150, but I'm pushing like for size right now. So that's a lot. That's a lot on a diet. So
yeah, that'd be like a refeed type of meal.
Yeah. And how much would you fill out after that?
Not much. Most of the time I would lose weight. So sometimes we do it 2 days in a row. So, but it's hard to fill out on rice. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
You have to eat something like sushi or a burger plus the rice to get, you know.
I think at your size though, that's like, because like you're 6'3" and 300 pounds in prep. So like how much do you weigh right now? 340, 330?
No, I weighed 316 this morning when I woke up.
Yeah. But at the heaviest, when you like really push it, like how heavy do you get?
The heaviest I've ever been is 324.
324.
That's I've ever seen on the scale. I mean, maybe I've been more, but that's the heaviest I've ever seen on the scale.
How does that feel?
It doesn't feel that bad.
No?
I'm pretty used to it. I've been over 300 pounds for about 8 years now, so I'm used to it. As far as like off season goes.
Yeah. and the health markers is anything like off
No,
from being that
no.
big?
The last blood work I got, I sent to Dante, and he said it was really good. He was surprised at how good it was. He said everything looks great.
Freak.
I don't use a lot of stuff either, though.
Yeah. What do you
When
do?
I prep,
What do you do
when
now?
I prep, right now I'm doing 750 tested, 600 EQ, and 4 I use a GH.
Well, I don't do the GH, but I'm using just as much. And you got me by almost 100 pounds. So.
Oh, it doesn't mean anything though. Like I'm to the point now where I'm not growing, but I can hold on to my size. I'm not trying to do anything because I don't know what I want to do. You know what I mean? So I'm not one of those guys that just takes stuff for no reason. Like I need to have a game plan. So I don't have no idea what I'm going to do right now. I'm kind of just like in limbo. So that's just my working out basic stack to keep me where I'm at.
Like, I don't know, I'm going to take 4 months to grow and then 4 months to prep. Like, what would you do in the next 4 months?
I would probably do, I still wouldn't use that much. I would use probably 1 gram of test, and then I would use probably some NPP and some EQ or something, and then GH and maybe insulin like on pre-workout or something.
Yeah. So that's nothing. It's fucking nothing. Like,
no, I don't really use that much.
I mean, come on, what do we hear on a daily basis? Like the dosages that are thrown around, like
2 grams of test. I've never done more. I've told this to people, and I don't know if they believe me, but I've never done more than 1,400 milligrams of test before.
Do you even need more? Like, can the body?
I don't think you do.
I don't think the body can accept more than.
No.
I mean, it probably can, because by definition, by science, the more you put in, the more androgens receptors you develop.
Yeah.
But I mean, how much muscle can you, like, it doesn't really make much sense to me. Like those, like, those really red guys,
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it looks like usually.
And I always told this, I remember telling this to Matt, I'm like, how come I don't look like a lot of these other guys, like in the way their skin looks? And he's like, because you don't use that much shit. And I have like a more softer look to me, like in the off season.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
I'm not like,
you do.
I'm not rock hard, and I carry a little more body fat. But I think it's because I don't use a lot of gear. And then whenever I get time for a show is when I start picking it up, because in my mind, if you do gear all year round, it's not going to have the same effect when you throw it in contest prep, right? So
Exactly.
when you're getting ready for a show and you throw trin in, you haven't used trin at all since your last show, you're probably going to have a good response to it compared to using it in the off season and stuff. Right. Same as cardio. If you do cardio every single day, even if it's just 25 minutes or so, when it comes time to get that last bit of body fat off, and you're doing an hour a day that's not coming off, it's because you're so used to it. I really believe that. So a lot of things I like to just keep when it's time for that. That way my body responds to it better.
So what do you do, like, in a prep right now? Like, do you have any idea, like what was the last thing that you did, like, to get ready for a show?
Cycle?
Yeah.
I can read it to you probably.
This is fucking, that's why I love this guy. He is real. Like, there's no lying with him.
Now, keep in mind, if anytime I've ever done anything, like Andrew, for example, or Matt, they'll know what I was doing. And then there comes a time when you're prepping that you're just like, I'm going to add a little bit more of this. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like when I get close to a show, you know you're going to have 30 minutes because you're just posing, you're looking at every angle, right?
Yeah.
Then you get in that mindset of like, you just got to get more peeled and more peeled and more peeled. When I get into that mindset, that's whenever I start like adding other shit. So this is a lot. This is 1 week out of North Americans 2018.
Field beans.
750 tests.
That's okay.
500 trim, 500 master on, 60 milligrams of VAR, 80 mcg clean. I didn't know that was that high. 12 IUs of GH.
That's high. Okay, that's
45
high.
45 milligrams of Halo, 200 milligrams of Proviron, 180 milligrams of Winnie, 0.5 𝗱𝗶𝗶𝗶 every other day, and 2 milligrams of 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗃 a day. That's really not that bad compared to some guys.
It's not terrible, but some stuff is like.
But that's not like the 200 Proviron, not necessary. The one necessary. You know what I mean? But like in your mind, when you get so dry and you get to a point, you just think more is better.
Yeah. No, it's like, I don't know. I mean, I still try to be on point, like with everything else. Like if I'm precise, I know that it's gonna work in a certain way. Like with anything, with cardio, with diet, with training. If I do it the way I'm supposed to do it, I know it's gonna be. The outcome is gonna be what I expect it to be. If I do something more or less than that, I know it's not gonna be. You know what I mean? Like it's not an expected outcome. So, and I always try to do less than what I'm supposed to do. So, but I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying. But still, I mean, it's not crazy. Like, I mean, the Proviron, it's basically I don't know if it even has size. Maybe it fucks up the cholesterol a little bit, but
Yes, it's Proviron. The goal for me is just to get as dry as possible. And that with Proviron is pretty much what that would.
Yeah, and you didn't throw in Letro like most guys. Like most guys use like 2 Letros.
I've done Letro, but I didn't that year.
Yeah, so I mean, and you guys can go and check out how he looked. I'm gonna try to edit in. That was 2018. That's when you were at your best, I feel.
That was my best before I got hurt, and I think that I look big and full was because I didn't use so many anti-E's, and in the past I had used a lot of anti-E's.
Basically flattening out too much.
Flattening out, and then you get really dry, but you just cannot fill up.
It's that look. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like you're really dry, but under the lights, you look washed
skinny.
out. Yeah.
Like when I went to 2017 North Americans, that's probably one of the driest I've ever been. And I really thought I was going to get like a really good placing because I was so lean and so peeled. But I got 7th because the Letro and stuff, it took so much fat off of me. My legs got really skinny. My back was flat. I mean, everything, like the abs and the veins and the cuts were all there, but the muscle wasn't there. And looking back at the pictures, I'm like, it makes sense to me now that I see it. At my height, I can't afford that.
But it looked crazy in the gym and backstage though, right?
It looked cool in the hotel room. It looked cool in all the pictures, but on stage you see it and you're like, all right, I see why now.
And you don't compare well to others either. It's like everyone else is full of shit and you're like...
You're peeled, but you just look small.
Stringy, yeah. Stringy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, like other than you said 12 IUs of GH, that's a little high if it was real. And I mean, I don't know what others are doing, but I know that that's...
They're up there too, don't worry.
Yeah.
The ones that can afford it, they're up there.
Well,
I've seen guys do a whole bottle of 𝗧𝗏𝗏𝗃 a day.
How much is that? I don't know.
I think a whole bottle is 18 IUs.
I've heard 16. I've heard 16, but
heard that too
from some guys, but I'm not gonna name names. But yeah, I haven't seen 18. I know Nasser said he was going anywhere between 24 and 36
a day.
Yeah, he said that.
Wow.
Like I've listened to that show, and 3 grams of test was like his usual dose, and 5 was like, when he was pushing it.
I mean, that's so many shots a week. Whenever I see some of these dosages, I'm like,
right?
What does it look like shooting hard muscle I hate giving myself a shot, and I'm soft. Like when it's rock hard muscle, where do you stick this stuff at?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, especially these smaller guys, when you hear the dosages, these small, like, I know guys that take your amount of stuff and they're like 190, 200 pounds,
Yeah.
like whatever, 220, doesn't matter, you know. Like, where do you stick that in? Like, how does the muscle absorb that stuff?
And
It's
then they
beyond
take
me.
like, painless pumps and stuff too on top of that. So they're shooting gear plus, SEO.
Oh, I've seen that.
What does your body feel like all day long?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't like the feeling of like 3 milliliters, like three
No,
cc's. Like, it's not good. And these
no.
guys have to shoot like 5 to 10 each time.
Yeah, I
And
don't know how they
I
do it.
know guys that were shooting their necks and their traps,
No, that's stupid. I would never do that.
like the nerve endings.
Yeah,
You can fucking kill yourself.
yeah.
It's
Dude,
crazy.
some bodybuilders are just really stupid. I mean, like they're
Yeah,
just
yeah.
really
No,
reckless guys.
they don't give a fuck. You know,
No.
it's just about the next. Like, I know one guy was laughing at me for going low. I didn't want to use orals in the off season. I didn't want to do it, and because I knew it would fuck with appetite. I just didn't want to do it. He was laughing at me. 2 months later, he gave up on bodybuilding because he was running like 2 grams of test, 900 tren, D-ball, GH, like in the middle at 23 years old. So,
No, dude.
you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how their body accepts it and how they feel all day long, you know?
I don't know how you could take all those orals and expect to eat food. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like I don't even want to eat now. And then if I took an oral, I'd just have no appetite.
Dude, I was dieting on a little bit of T-ball and I had zero appetite. And it was great because I had zero appetite. I didn't care. Like, I was on 200 grams of carbs. It was like, whatever, you know. And these guys are doing it in the off season, and they're gonna give up food just to take the drugs. You know, that's the silly part.
Yeah, I don't understand that either.
Yeah,
I've always relied on food. Like I eat a lot and I eat the same thing every day. It never changes. There's never just a day I wake up on at accident 12 o'clock in the afternoon and I miss a meal. It's always at the same time every day, no matter what. So that's probably why I'm able to hold on to size is because I'm so consistent.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
my day never changes. And I'm sure you're probably the same way.
yeah. I'm exactly the same way. Like, I'm 52 weeks out, and I was eating 2 meals of cod and
Yeah.
rice.
Dude, I went to nationals last year in Miami to watch my
Yeah,
friend compete. And I remember I'd ordered food from MegaFit and sent it to the hotel. And the guys that are all there that are bodybuilders, some of them are pro bodybuilders, are giving me shit because I ordered food and had it sent. Because like a bodybuilder is giving me shit for being dedicated. And
are you serious?
yeah, they're making fun of me because they go out to eat at restaurants and I didn't want to eat, so I ate my meals. I was at the restaurant eating my meals,
Like,
and they were making fun of me.
active pro bodybuilders.
Yeah, and they're like, "Come on, just eat." And you hang out with guys and you realize that a lot of them are not that serious. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure you've
know.
probably been let down by a few.
I was, and it's kind of crazy when you see someone like 5 to 6 weeks out, and they don't care how much potato they have on the plate, how big is the steak, and I'm like fucking 52 weeks out, and I'm measuring my meat to the gram.
Dude, I
Like,
just made a I
am I,
made a
am I
shake.
like, I'm thinking to myself, am I stupid for doing this? Like,
No, you are, but you are stupid for doing it, but you're not because I do the same thing. I just measured my protein powder to make my shake before this.
yeah, I do that too.
Yeah, no, and I'm not competing anytime soon.
We'll talk about that in a second. But before we get to that, what do you eat? Like, how much do you eat right now?
I don't really think I eat that much. I don't know the macros on them, but um, I think I eat probably about 600 carbs a day and probably about 400 and something protein. And my fat's probably about 80 or 90. It's not that much. I was eating 7 meals and I cut it to 6.
Yeah.
Because I'm tired of
Couldn't handle it, huh?
Yeah. No, I just got tired of eating so much, and I'm like, my cat's up here.
What's his name?
That's Franny. But I was eating 7 meals and I was staying up so late to get meals in. I'm like, what if I just cut my meals to 6 and make them a little bigger?
Yeah.
Just a little bit bigger, yeah, but not much. And I didn't lose any
I
weight.
went from 6 to 5. I couldn't do the fucking 6 anymore. Like on a rest day, like on a training day, it's easy. Like 6 meals is I can do 7, no problem. But on a rest day, for some reason, that one meal makes such a difference. And
do you lower your calories on your rest day?
No. I made it like I just made the other 5 bigger. That's all.
No, I mean when you're on your rest day, do you lower your calories?
So I was saying that that I shot up my fats to 150, and I got my carbs down to around 300, and I don't feel that I'm recovering any less, or I just feel better on a rest day, and I'm actually resting better, because you know what I mean, like my rest day is a lot more efficient because I don't feel tired from eating like tons of food, and I still get in the calories, so it's good, I guess. It works.
I do that too. I do the same thing.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah. I just don't like to eat that much, man. And the older I get, the more I just don't like to eat. Even if I have like usually on Saturday, I'll get me a burger or something just to break the monotony of the same thing. And half the time I don't even really want the burger. I just eat it so I don't have to eat chicken and rice. But
well, that's awesome, dude. You know that, right? Like that's fucking crazy. Like you said, most guys wouldn't give a shit. Like they would just eat like 3 times a day, and so even if you eat just 6 meals or you just got a little tired of eating, still fucking consistent 6 meals a day.
Every day.
Every day.
No.
And you train all the time, right?
My workouts are the same days every week. So unless I change it, but like my split Monday is back day, no matter what. You know what I mean? So it's like everything's the same.
What do you think about these stupid ass splits that people do lately? Like by the sound of it, you're on a bro split, right?
Yeah.
So what do you think about these crazy ass splits where guys are doing, I don't know, biceps with legs, and then they do rear delt with, I don't know, chest. You know what I mean? Like these.
Do you mean like a push-pull split, or do you just mean like kind of like JP?
Like, I don't know, like something like that. Like, I don't want to call anyone out like specifically.
No, but like JP does stuff like what you just said, but the thing about him is that he's going to be 100% with whatever he does, right? Like, so I don't think it's weird if JP does hamstrings and biceps, because I know he's going to just destroy it. But people that try to be like him, like guys that have no reason to do stuff like that, it's a little ridiculous. But like I right now I just do just a typical bro split. I've tried the push-pull legs, man, and I felt like shoulders were taking a back seat, and I felt like arms were taking a back seat. And then my shit started hurting. Like my shoulders started killing me from doing all that pressing, so many days a week.
So how did you structure it though? Did you do it like?
I had Matt Jansen help me do it. It was chest, shoulders, and tries, then back and bis, then legs. No, yeah, and then off. So I was doing 3 on, 1 off, and it was just it was good at first, but then it just got too much on my joints.
Yeah, I get you.
Some guys are meant to lift really heavy weight. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And they just can. And not that I don't lift heavy, but I'm not meant to lift in the 6 range, I don't think. You know what I mean? Like I just get hurt, man. I'm injury prone.
Yeah.
And you just gotta accept what you're built for. And you see guys doing stuff and you think has to be done because he does it and he's huge, and it's just not that way for everybody, man.
Yeah.
And,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Dallas could lift though. Like Dallas
could lift. He was built for everything. And he could
he
squat
never
8 plates.
he never got hurt, right? He never
No,
managed to get hurt.
No, it blew my mind. It blows my mind how a lot of these guys don't get hurt.
And you were friends with Dallas though, right? Like you guys were tight.
Well, it wasn't like super tight, but I knew him well enough I was around him a few times with Matt. I lived with Matt for probably 7 or 8 days, I think. He was there the whole time, and we hung out and did stuff around the house together. But I knew him well enough.
How was he? As to be around, was he cool?
He was cool, but he was really what's the word? You could tell he's not, I'm not going to say a diva, but he was you didn't want to make him mad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I get what
you could tell. You could tell Matt didn't want to make him mad. Matt would try to please him or whatever.
Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's basically he's that one friend that you like to hang out with, but you're not gonna tell him the actual reality of the situation because he's gonna get mad and run out.
Yeah, when I was there with them, I think me and Dallas only worked out in the gym. We never worked out together. We only worked out at the same time, maybe twice, because Dallas always wanted to go when he wanted to go, and he would leave. Matt would be, and I wouldn't be ready, and Dallas would leave without telling anybody. Matt's like, well, Dallas already gone. I'm gonna go meet him and help him, and I'm like, okay. So I'm by myself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's kind of weird.
He would just go.
Yeah. Was it down to his meal timing? Was it or just his personal decision?
No. He would eat a meal at 2 p.m. Say meal 2 is at 2 p.m. and then meal 3 he would eat at 3:30. He would eat when he was hungry. He wasn't.
I guess he was really fucking hungry if he ate.
Yeah. He would do it. And Matt would put his diet on the refrigerator every morning. And it would change, according to whatever.
Yeah. Who's putting the diet on your refrigerator?
No one. Just me.
And you're still following it.
I do my own diet. Yeah, no one's coaching me or nothing like that.
Yeah, right now though. In off season, you never really had a coach, right?
I was with Matt for almost 5 years, but I always checked in with him. He would send me a diet, but he would send me a diet at the very beginning of the rebound, after a show, and that would be the diet. And then I would just kind of check in with him throughout. But it wasn't cycle and all of that. He knew me. He knew I was going to do my thing. He knew I wasn't going to miss meals, so he didn't really worry about me.
Yeah. So basically, yeah, you were one of those clients. He just sent you the diet. He knew that it's gonna go down.
I checked in with him. Yeah, he wouldn't ask me for pictures. I would just send them to him, and he was like, "Okay, you look, everything's going good." So we talked every day though, so it wasn't never.
Yeah. So it was never a problem with communication, like some guys.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Do you think guys, how many guys do you think are lying about what they're doing, or they're not following what they're being told, or you know what I mean? Do you think it's across the board?
I would say more than. I would say more than the ones that are not.
What are they doing? Why are they even? Do you think they're just bodybuilding just because they're kind of successful at it, so they just do it because they're not going to be successful at anything else? Do they actually love bodybuilding? What's going on in their mind? I don't get it.
Dude, bodybuilders are some of the most they have the most anxiety, the stressed out guys I've ever met. When you go to a show and you get around these guys, they'll stress out over a person posting a picture. You know what I mean? someone will watch a guy post a picture on Instagram and it'll ruin his fucking week because
Like, do you mean like a picture of himself, like of him, or a picture, like a progress
of the way
picture?
someone looks.
Oh, and they would go crazy over that. That's weird. That's fucking weird. Like people are so weird. Like I
Yeah.
personally don't get that, because I don't know, even if it's someone I'm competing with, I would maybe get motivated by it, but I will lose my mind over the fact
No, dude.
that someone else is looking good.
Dude, I've seen guys fall apart at shows in a matter of time just for the stupidest reasons of stressful stuff, man. And it's like, just chill and relax, and then just let it come to you. Don't worry about everything. It's so much easier if you just, like, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, just chill.
That's how I've always done it.
Yeah. I don't know. People I think they take themselves too seriously.
Yeah.
That's the real problem. Yeah. So, speaking about competing, when are you going to get on stage? Come on.
I don't know.
Come on.
I mean, I don't even know what shows are happening or when. I don't even know when. For the last 5 years, it's always been September.
Yeah.
So now I got to like if they announced it right now and they said May 27th, whatever pro, that's what I need. I got to see a for sure thing on paper.
Same though. Like I feel the same. Okay.
Yeah.
In this COVID situation, that's different. But you just said though, like, let's say that they erase COVID from existence. It doesn't exist anymore. Everything's back to normal. Like, the Arnold is in March. I don't know. Cali Pro is in May. Like, say Cali Pro is on May 27th. Is Cade Zook doing the Cali Pro?
If whatever stuck out to me and I saw that date, then I could do it. But I have to have a for sure like goal. That's the problem with me. I don't compete just for the hell of it. I do it, and I know I'm not going to win. So that's the difference between the pro level and the amateur level, is that I knew I was going to be have a possibility of winning at some point. So you're more motivated, you're more driven, and not that I'm not motivated, but it's very hard to kill yourself in the gym, the dieting, and then the drugs for a possibility, for a for sure outcome of not winning. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I don't want to get 10th place. Like,
but still, you got 7th, you got 10th in the amateur ranks. Like this, you just said yourself, you got 7th in 2017, and then you got 2nd in 2018 at the same show in 365.
But I knew I could win at that level, and this level is different. These guys are, it's look how, and I've talked about this before, but look how what was his name? The huge guy from France.
Morgan Nasty, yeah.
Look how peeled he was at the Arnold and how dry. He was probably the most lean guy on stage, and he got dead last, or like second to last.
I think he got a little bit fucked though. Like,
he did. But you think I'm not going to get fucked? That guy gets fucked.
I don't know. You have pool. Like the judges know you. You know that saying? The judges know you.
They know me because they've seen me for 5 years in a row, but they don't give a shit about me.
Like, they know who the fuck Cade is, and if you stand next to wrong garden, they're gonna know, like, okay, they stood together like a few years ago. Let's compare them. So you never fucking know.
Yeah, I want to do at least one.
You gotta do a pro show, man. Like,
I want to do one. I want to redeem myself for my last show.
You think you look bad?
No, not that I look bad. I looked as good as I could look for what I had to do. But you got to remember, that was less than 1 year after my surgery. It was like 10 months.
Yeah, I know.
So I couldn't train 100% the whole entire off season and the whole entire prep. There's things I just couldn't do. So the condition was there, but the size and fullness and stuff that wasn't there because I couldn't lift the weight that I normally lift. So although I was happy I won, I wasn't happy with how I looked.
So what I'm getting from this, like I'm getting something entirely else. Like the drugs don't make physique, because you just said that you couldn't lift hard. You probably took just as much, most
I did.
likely.
Yeah, nothing different.
Nothing changed, and you looked. No, you didn't look drastically worse, but you looked like maybe 10% off from your best.
Yeah, I was at
10%
least
off.
90%, 85%. What I could have been.
Yeah, for sure. And that's a big drop that you can't correct it with drugs. That's a really good message actually for the people out there. Fucking live
You could
heavy.
probably take some drugs you could probably take some SEO and fill your shoulders and your triceps and stuff like that out, but I'm not doing it.
It will look stupid on you. Like it
would look stupid. I'm not going to do that.
No, that's for the really wrong guys. Like
Yeah.
It looked okay on Flex Wheeler, and even he looked kind of stupid towards the end.
Yeah. So you got to lift. You got to lift. Your body knows what your limits in the gym. You know what I mean? I can't go to the gym and press 185 as slow as possible and I'm not going to look big. Like I have to move weight. You know what I mean?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing because I think you know who I'm thinking about right now. Who's doing that lately?
Is it lightweight and slow as possible?
Slow, really slow, weird angles, weird form.
Is it a pro?
Yeah, come on, dude. We are sharing him too. Like all the time.
Oh, yeah, I know who it is.
Seth Shaw.
Yeah.
It's good. I mean, I guess it works for him, but I know it wouldn't work.
Does it?
I don't know. I mean,
does it look good? He thinks he does, but he looked better at North Americans than he did as a pro.
He looked a lot bigger and fuller.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not. If you're listening, Seth, you're probably not. But if you are listening, it's not.
Step it up.
Step it up, and I mean, you look great. He did look good, like as a physique wise, but he definitely looked a lot fuller and harder and bigger as an amateur. Like I know Dennis James. I was watching the at the Tampa Pro. I was watching the live stream, and Dennis James said that he could do classic.
He wouldn't do it though. He thinks it's offensive to say that.
Yeah, but if people are mistaking you for a classic bodybuilder, and people would not mistake him for a classic bodybuilder 3 years ago, so
no,
he's definitely doing something that's not, and I don't think it's 𝗬𝗏's fault.
No, it's his fault. He only works out 3 days a week or something like that, 3 or 4 days a week. Yeah. And it's like 2 or 3 sets, like per body part. So
I just died. Sorry, but yeah, that's not gonna cut it at that level.
It's not going to cut it.
No. Like I've talked to Evan like 2 episodes ago. I talked to Evan, and he said that his last showing was his worst, simply because he wasn't as big or as strong at the beginning of prep.
Yeah, I think so.
He wasn't like pushing 305, 308, and which he was trying to do the year after, and then he got torn up.
I think that's true because whenever I tore my tricep, would have been in the entire time frame of me rebounding from a show and growing, and I would have been over. I think I got hurt in October, and then I wasn't able to lift again heavy and good until January. So I had from January to May to put on that size, when I usually had 4 more months of that size. You see what I'm saying? So I usually had 8 months of size compared to 4 months, and of plus lifting heavy plus the size. So I think what he's saying is probably true for him. He didn't have the size for as long.
Yeah, for sure. How did you get torn up, and why did it happen?
The tricep?
Yeah.
I mean, I was bench pressing. I was getting ready for nationals because I just got second to Ron. And I was getting ready for nationals, the one where 𝗪𝗛𝗏𝗏𝗧 won. And I think I was 6 weeks out, and my tricep tore. I think it was a bad spot, and it fell on me. It didn't pop, because usually when a tricep tear happens, it's an impact injury. A lot of football players get it when they're like blocking and stuff, pushing, or as they fall. It's not an injury where it pops at the top. Like a pec pops at the top, but a tricep is trauma, you know what I mean, is impact. Mm-hmm. So the weight fell on me. So I believe a lot of it was the spotter, because I had inflammation in my elbow, and sometimes when you bench, one arm goes higher than the other.
Yeah.
The bad elbow wasn't as high as the good elbow, so the good elbow already hit the rack, and the way he was standing, he saw that arm hit, and he heard this one hit the lip but not connect, so he let go, and it fell down like that.
Yeah, do you think it would have happened regardless, or do you think
I think it would have happened regardless?
Yeah.
No, I think my elbow was so bad for so long that, I mean, you could watch old videos that I've posted, and I'll have a sleeve on one arm back in like 2017. Yeah. So it was just there for a long time, and I should have just listened to it and
why didn't you try? Yeah, why didn't you try to treat it or something like PRP?
Just being ignorant, because you always get things that hurt your knee, your wrist, your shoulder. You just chalk it up to training.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. But if it's that bad, if it's like years on end. I know that Dorian, tore his triceps exactly like that. It was inflamed. He was taking like pain medication and anti-inflammatory stuff for it, and then it just tore up. Did you ever take any like?
Did he tear it doing
the pullover?
Did you ever take what? Yeah, pullover.
Yeah, the pullover for the tricep though. He was doing it like with 150 pounds. And with the dumbbell, and it just,
that's crazy. He
said it was like he took an axe to the elbow, like the biggest pop in the world.
Yeah, it was loud, man.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I knew it. I knew exactly what it was when it happened.
Fuck, it never happened to me, thank God. Nothing like that. So maybe I just don't train that hard. I don't know.
No, maybe you're just not a dumbass.
I don't know, but whenever I remember Dexter saying like 10 years ago when I started, he was saying like, listen to your body, whatever hurts, fucking stop at that exact moment. Like if it hurts, it's not good.
It's good advice, but it's almost impossible to listen.
No, it's not to that extent. Like you gotta know, like if it's something really minor, like you gotta push through, obviously.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna stop my fucking prep because I hurt my groin.
No.
But if my elbow is inflamed for years, I'm probably going to do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
probably get an MRI or something is what I should have done.
Probably, yeah. But hey, it makes you better bodybuilder because you learn how to lift all over again.
When you get hurt, you get so much smarter. You learn. Like I hurt my knee, my MCL in my knee recently, and it still hurt. And I can do legs, but I had to completely change my form up on like hack squats. And I've been getting such a better pump in my legs doing it this way, and I feel like such an idiot because I've been doing it wrong all the time. It took a sprain for me to realize that.
Funny, huh? Funny how that works. But that's awesome. I think if you can learn something after 15 years of doing it, it's crazy. There was something else I wanted to talk about, and now it just fucking it fizzled out. But so you definitely want to do one more pro show that's like in the cards.
Yeah, but I want to do it. Like I want to feel it and know when it's time. So I'm gonna wait till I have that feeling.
How do you think you're gonna do? Like, do you think you have a good chance at the top? Because for me, top 5 at your first pro show is like a big deal. Like that's a good thing. that's a good thing, in my opinion. If you're not, I don't know who, if you're not Hunter
Yeah.
or Phil Heath or whatever, like top 5 at your first show, it's really fucking good. Trust me.
I don't see that happening.
You're fucking stupid.
Top 5?
You're stupid. I'm telling you. Like I
Maybe
know.
at like the
I know these
Puerto Rican pro.
Nah, come on. I mean, unless it's like something stacked, like Spain is gonna be in 2 weeks, like where you have Rafael Brandao and James and fucking Milan Šadek and all these fucking guys. That's different. But most pro shows aren't like that. Like most pro shows are 1 or 2 or 3 guys, and then it's it's not that great after that. So I think you can be top 5. It's just
Right show.
right show, and you gotta be peeled because most of these guys just don't get in shape.
Not anymore, they don't.
Yeah. So
What do you think about Nick Walker?
Nick Walker, I think he's crazy if he thinks he's gonna win 10 Olympias. Like I like his enthusiasm, but I don't think it's gonna happen. He has a great physique, but it's just the lines aren't there. I don't know if you agree with that.
Do you think he's gonna win Chicago?
Win Chicago? Nah, that's Justin Rodriguez gotta win that. Like Justin is like, I think Justin had New York. I don't know. What did you think?
I think he had New York too. I think Ian looks really good, but I don't think he didn't stand out to me as the winner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I just think that an 85 to 90, because he admittedly was like 85 to 90%. I think if you're 85 to 90%, you should be winning shows, even if you're Phil Heath.
But even Max Charles could have won that show, realistically. I mean, not they should have. I'm just saying, if Ian could have won, Max could have won.
Yeah, and then you can make a case for Hassan as well.
Yeah, but I think Justin should have won.
Yeah, he was just he was at 100%, and he's really symmetric. You know what really pissed me off? The reasoning behind it, that Justin had a blown out waist and that Ian had a smaller waist. That's ridiculous.
That's stupid.
Ridiculous. Like Justin is like aesthetically one of the most pleasing guys in the open.
He looks like Victor Martinez.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've competed against Justin before. When I saw him backstage, I knew he was going to win. He won my show the overall the year I did it in 16.
Yeah, that's the 2016 NAs, I think.
Yep, and then Bumstead won. That was the year Chris Bumstead won the heavyweights.
Do you think Bumstead would have been a good open bodybuilder?
I think if he wanted to be, he could, but I think he's smart to stay where he's at.
Yeah, he's not gonna risk it with the autoimmune disease. Nah,
no. Dude, Chris, he's one of the best physiques I've ever seen in my life, in person.
Really?
Oh yeah. When I saw it, he doesn't look
great on pictures.
No, but I posed with him at the gym the year he won. He turned pro, and we were walking back to the hotel, and I was like, "Dude, you're gonna win tomorrow." He's like, "No, I don't know, man. We'll see." I'm like, "No, you're gonna win tomorrow." Like, he just has that look.
You can pick winners pretty well.
I have an eye for bodybuilding. I know who's good. You know, I mean, that's why I know I'm not gonna be any good, because I know bodybuilding.
Am I good?
You can be. It's there.
All right.
You just gotta fill it out. You know that.
I know that. It's driving me crazy.
You need to move to America and fucking do USA's, North Americans, and nationals and turn pro.
Why?
Because you got 3 chances in a row. And then there's just more chances.
But I don't want just turn pro. That's fucking.
No, I know. I'm just saying you have more opportunity.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a lot harder here. Like they give 3 cards per show here.
In
Sometimes,
your,
sometimes just the
in your,
yeah.
where do you have to go to compete at?
Well, it depends. Right now, I would have to go to Spain in 2 weeks, or to UK. There are a few shows. They had the British finals. They were open for everyone. And then you have the 𝗵𝗏𝗏𝗧 Classic in a few weeks. So there are some shows. They are giving out pro cards. But for example, at the British finals, it was just the overall.
Right.
So it's pretty tough, but I think it can happen if you just give it. It's not as hard as it used to be. Like back in the day, like in 2015, 14, 13, you had to win the overall at the Arnold Classic Europe, or you had to win the World Championship, or the British finals, and you could enter the British finals only if you were British.
Oh yeah. It's pretty hard in Australia too, isn't it?
Yeah, but Australia has like 25 million people. Like it's a really small population. So how many guys are competing? Like
I think only one guy turns pro in their show though, like the overall winner. That's it.
Yeah, I know, but other than 𝗧𝗨𝗥𝗡, it's like how many guys did you hear about?
Not many.
Out of Australia. You know what I mean? Like it's like Canada. It's like Canada.
To me, it just seems harder for European bodybuilders to turn pro, not because of competition, but just because of lack of competition.
Yeah. I
mean, not saying the guys aren't good, because they are. Just you have to go all the way to freaking Spain. I don't know how far that is, but you know what I mean.
Far. It's cross. It's like going across America, though. Like, but still, it's it's different country, different language. It's tougher, but it's like going to Miami.
Right. Yeah, Miami.
One guy, Luke Sando. Did you know him? Did you ever speak to him? I know you had the similar love for metal.
I've only spoke to him a few times on Instagram about music.
There you go.
That was it. Because he posed the same song I did, but I did it before he did it.
Oh, so you claim copyright.
So everybody was giving him like, "Oh man, what a good song!" And I'm like, "I did that at North Americans 2018." And Luke did it
at the
Olympia.
Oh, at the Olympia.
Or the Olympia.
At the Olympia.
What was the last Olympia he did? 19?
Yeah, 19. That's the only one he did.
Okay, well, he did it at 19 Olympia then. So it was like a year later.
Yeah. Oh, he stole your thunder, man.
Stole it. Bastard. I actually went and saw him at the Arnold in person.
Oh, you did? How did
when he looked good. I knew he was going to be in the mix when he walked out. I was like, shit. Because I remember Matt Jansen was sitting next to me, and he used to coach.
Yeah, he did.
Luke, and we were both pretty like, yeah, he looks fucking sick when he walked out.
Yeah, like big and.
He just had a different look that year. His quads, his abs, and when he turned around to his back, his glutes never looked like that. And you just knew like, oh shit. And that's where he got real popular at, right? The Arnold.
Yeah. That's where he blew up. He didn't forget about me, but that's like most guys. But that's where he. But it's funny. The more popular he got, the more he doubted himself. It's
a lot of pressure, and that's a prime example of what I was talking about earlier with these guys, how they're in their heads. Like they let stuff get to them so much, like the sponsors and stuff. Like I've never had a sponsor in my life other than True Nutrition, which Dante just lets me order protein as much, whatever I want. But I don't get any money. I don't get clothes from anybody. I've never got any of that stuff. So I don't know what it's like. But
do you think you should have fought for it a little harder? Looking back.
Do I think what?
Do you think you should have fought for, getting a sponsor or whatever?
Maybe, but I guess I always had the ego of saying like, I don't want to ask for it. I want them to ask me for it.
I have the same thing. Oh God.
And you'll probably never get anything thinking that way.
That's right.
But I don't care. Like I don't need, and a lot of these guys have to post certain things at certain times of the week. and they get these ridiculous emails. I've seen them from Redcon. My friend's sponsored by Redcon. I've seen them. And they're just like, I remember when it was Aaron Singerman's birthday, they told the clients or the athletes to post about Aaron's birthday. Like, how lame is that? So they're like, oh, happy birthday, Aaron.
Yeah. And you have to do it. Like,
yeah. Now imagine having to getting told to post certain things. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
And that's the only way you can make money now is by social media, is by sponsors.
Yeah, but you do coaching and you're good at it, even though you don't really post about it. So
yeah, I mean, whenever I see guys post a lot, it doesn't bother me one bit. But whenever I do it, I feel like I'm being annoying. Does that make sense? I mean, but it's a weird way of thinking, but I feel like I'm like just overdoing it when I do it, and everybody's looking at me like an idiot. But even though I know no one gives a shit, but I don't think that.
No, they don't. Like,
I know.
Unless you post about it all the time on your story, like all the time. But if it's just like one guy every once in a while, I don't think people really care.
And see, like Andrew Vu, that's all he does is post client. That's it. So third place today at Pro, and that's it. You know what I mean? But it works.
Yeah, but he's like a full-time coach. You're still bodybuilding.
I don't know that you can be a full-time coach and a successful bodybuilder. I just don't know that's possible.
It's tough, man. Like, you'll have to miss workouts. You might have to miss meals for other guys. Not sleep.
Have you ever seen like a big name coach at a weekend bodybuilding show?
No, I haven't.
It's insane. Like Andrew and Matt, and like they're gone all day. They're running around. They got 10 or 12 clients. They're driving to this hotel. They're down here checking on this guy. They got men's physique, women's physique, classic physique, bodybuilding, bikini, different times of different shows. It's exhausting. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, how do they even beat these guys? Like, how? Like, I don't get it. Like, I had Matt on the show, and he was explaining it, and it's like doing this to him. Like, no, he when he talks about it, it's like drinking water. You know, like,
no, he's a pro at it, and I've lived with Matt for weeks at a time, and I know his routine and his system, and he's on his laptop all freaking day long. It's just all he does.
But your social life suffers a little bit, right? Like
yeah,
it's not very good to do. Like, if you have a family and stuff, like,
you gotta have to treat it like a regular job as far as like cutoff time. If you get off work at 8 o'clock at night, you have to treat it like that. Like, okay, I'm done with clients unless they're competing tomorrow and stuff like that. But by this time of the day, I'm done. I'm not responding to emails, and you just gotta treat it like a job.
Do you ever see yourself doing that or not?
I don't think so. I would be like a 𝗬𝗨𝗥𝗡. Like, I would like to help guys that are really good, that know the drill, because that's the guys I do the best with. Because I'm very I don't care. Like, I'm not very I'm very basic, but I don't have a lot of sympathy, because it's like, you want to compete, not me. So I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to help you. We're gonna do whatever it takes to get there.
I'm the same way. Like, you're not there to hold their hands or.
If you don't check in with me, I don't care. I'm not going to ask you where you are. I do not email you back unless you email me.
I like that.
I don't care. I don't need your money. I want to help you if you want to do it.
Yeah, for sure.
But
that's awesome.
I think it's the way you got to be.
Yeah, but you got to find the right clients for that. Like, most guys aren't like that. They won't. I'm blessed with my guys. They're all, they all do it themselves. But some guys just don't care or don't. I don't know. They just like to be cuddled, I guess.
Yeah, I can't work with guys like that. They drive me nuts.
All right, man. I'm gonna wrap it up. We gotta go. We've been here for a while now. And is there anything else you want to shout? Like, you don't have nothing to shout out, but if there's anything else you want to mention or have a final message for anyone out there or whatever, do it.
No, I'm good, man. I just appreciate you having me on. Anytime you want to do it, let's do it.
Yeah, all right.
And I mean sex, not this.
Well, we're gonna get to that. You know, I'm gonna fly you over and
You take me to the Dalmatian coast.
yeah, it's pretty fucking long, so it's gonna take us at least a week, but there's gonna be lots of sex. So it's gonna be enjoyable, at least.
I look forward to it, my visit to the land of 1,000 islands.
Fuck, you know your shit, you know.
Dude, I know my shit, bro. I study.
I
Is that where 1,000 Island dressing was made at in Croatia?
I don't fucking.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. It's a good question. And if you guys know the answer, post it in the comments below.
And anybody who's Croatian who wants to follow me, please follow me. I love Croatia. Only Croatians, though. No Serbians. No Hungarians.
We talked about this before the show. You can't hate on
All right,
Serbians.
Serbians, follow me.
Yeah, they can follow you too, okay?
Yeah. All right.
By the way, why are you on your fucking Instagram? You are
I'm not on.
COVID-19 survivor. Did you actually have COVID?
No.
How did you survive it? By not having it?
I'm just making fun of people.
Oh.
I'm just trolling.
And you're a Black Trans Lives Matter
Supporter.
Are you trans?
Dude, if Black Lives Matter, but Black Trans Lives Matter even more. That's all I'm saying.
I agree. What about what about gay Black Trans lives?
Yes, they matter more.
Even more.
And
So
I'm here to support them.
Oh. Well, that works. You should go. You should run. You and Evan should run against each other in office.
I'm not a liberal. Is it?
No.
Is Evan?
No. He's very
a Republican.
conservative. He's really
a Republican.
He's really fucking conservative.
Yeah. So am I.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe. Well, you guys are the next in line. You know, for the Republican side in the elections.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Evan will win. He's more American than I am.
Way more American.
Yeah.
You know more about Croatia. That's not very American.
It's not very American. No.
No.
I plan to visit one day, so we'll see what happens.
I'm going to get you over here. It's going to be
Fly
good.
me over.
I will. All right, everyone. We got till the end somehow. I mean, I could talk to this guy for 5 hours probably, because there's a lot of shit to cover. And most of the stuff we can't really talk about on air. But I think we got the gist of it. So hope you enjoyed it, and like, subscribe, and share. Bye.
Yeah. Do widzenia.
That's fucking good, man.